channel is called Glazed Donut ASMR. I am a 23-year-old full-time grad student, and I love ASMR. I've been watching ASMR for probably 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer. And I've been wanting to start my own ASMR channel for a couple years now, so I figured now's the time. Today is my first video, which is really exciting. But this is also my first time doing ASMR, so it's a little scary. I figured for my first video, I would go through my book collection that I have kind of set up on my bookshelf. I don't really have it all figured out yet, so I didn't go and do it over at my bookshelf. I just brought all my books over to my desk because it's easier, but you know, maybe one day, if I get good enough at this, I can show you my bookshelf. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about, what these books are and stuff really quickly before we get started. Okay, this is gonna be, I believe, my only non-fiction book on this shelf. So I'll just get this over with. This is Carnal Knowledge. Sex education you didn't get in school. This is by Zoe Ligon and Elizabeth Renstrom. It's a really beautiful book. It came out in 2020, I believe. It's possible it was 2019. I don't think it's actually even in here. year, since I've been living in this apartment, I've been really overwhelmed and kind of burnt out because I'm in school and it's a lot of work. So kind of reading has been like too much for my brain. So I've actually gravitated toward audiobooks, and that's really my primary form of reading right now. And I listened to this audiobook about a year ago now, and I never thought I would like it because it is a closed-door romance. There, is no smut, no spice, no really in-depth sex scenes. But it made me sob like a baby. And it is such a good story. I recommended it to even my grandmother. So I'll read you the synopsis. After a wild bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and cuddle with a baby goat, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause? Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. The complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis. And yet, their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra-wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor, and every minute she spends with Daniel and the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's really important. Yet letting the relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? So here's Daniel, and here is Alexis. Here's Alexis in the city. Here's Daniel in the country. And there is a baby goat. Next is A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. I think this cover is so beautiful, and I love that it's detailed, and it's a really great take on the cartoon to you. Michelle is torn between keeping Gabe at arm's length or picking up right where they left off, in her bed. As they work on the campaign, old feelings resurface and their reunion takes a sexy turn. Facing mounting pressure from their families, who think they're dating, and growing uncertainty about their futures, can they resolve their past mistakes, or is it only a matter of time before Gabe says adios again? And I think I rated this either 4 or 5 stars, but it's also a pretty recent read within the last year or so. It's a really good book, and both of the love interests are bisexual, which is, love that, love queer representation. Okay, this next book holds the most special or sorry, I'm like reading this backwards. Aristotle and Dante dive into the waters of the world. So this is the sequel to Ari and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. And this came out in 2021. I think this cover, I think I might like it even better than the original cover. But I didn't give this 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars because really nothing can compare to the first book. But I still really enjoyed it, and I think it, concluded their story really nicely. But it is quite a bit heftier than the first book. But it also took Benjamin about 9 years, or 10 years, or 8. I don't know, I can't do math, but it took him about 8 years to write, so it kind of makes sense. But I will read you the synopsis now. In Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, 2 boys in a border town fall in love. Now they must discover what it means to stay in love and build a relationship in a world that seems to challenge their very existence. Ari has spent all of high school burying who he really is, staying silent and invisible. He expected his senior year to be the same, but something in him cracked open when he fell in love with Dante, and he can't go back. Suddenly, he finds himself reaching out to new friends, standing up to bullies of all kinds, and making his voice heard. And always, there is Dante. Dreamy, witty Dante, who can get on Ari's nerves and fill him with desire all at once. The boys are determined to forge a path for themselves in a world that doesn't understand them. But when Ari is faced with a shocking loss, he'll have to fight like never before to create a life that is truthfully, joyfully his. So, if you take my recommendation to read the first book, of course you have to follow it up with the second book. Please don't judge me for this. I'm not ashamed of it. It's a little cringy, I know, but Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. This is apparently a special edition, but it's also the only edition that is sold anymore, so I don't think that makes it a special edition. I digress though. If you're not familiar with this from BookTube or Book Talk, I think this is really a Book Talk phenomenon, but this is an extremely smutty, sexually explicit, is it fantasy? Or I guess it's like a sci-fi romance, about an alien abduction of a bunch of, I think, 22-year-old women, who get stranded on an ice planet. So, there you go. I will read you the back. You'd think being abducted by aliens would be the worst thing that could happen to me, and you'd be wrong, because now the aliens are having ship trouble, and they've left their cargo of human women, including me, on an ice planet. We're not equipped for helps us survive. I'm not sure he's going to want to let me go. I just have to say, I love this cover so much. Kind of similar to a lot like Adios. Only in the fact that it's like really beautiful illustration, and also if you've seen the original covers, this is a massive upgrade. That's all I'll say. The only other book that I have from the series is Barbarian Alien. Once again, beautiful cover. This is the second book in the series, and by the way, there's I think 25 books in this series. So, 12 humans are left stranded on a wintry alien planet. I'm one of them. Yay me. In order to survive, we have to take on a symbiote that wants to rewire our bodies to live in this brutal place. I like to call it a goodie, and my goodie's a jerk because it also thinks I'm the mate to the biggest, grumpiest alien of the bunch. Rahosh believes that goodie's right, so he steals me away from the group, determined to make me fall for him, or else. He has no idea who he's up against. And if I didn't want his insufferable self so much, thanks, Goody, I'd let him know exactly what I'm thinking. As it is, I'm doing my best to fight this instant attraction. Just because the symbiote thinks we're supposed to be together doesn't mean I have to go along with it. And if we fool around a little, it's merely biology. It doesn't mean that I'm in love with him, or that I'm destined to be his. Really just a fun book and a fun series, but I do want to mention a content warning in the first book. In the first couple of chapters, there's a brief, albeit kind of a little detailed, essay witnessed. It really is out of left field type of thing, because it's just a light, fluffy, and smutty read. So it's something a lot of people don't expect. So honestly, I was gonna say you could maybe skip over that part, but I don't. There is a book down the line that kind of deals with it, but doesn't go into detail at all. Yeah, I don't know. Read at your own discretion. This is gonna be a 2-for-1 type of deal, because the next 2 books that I have are the same book, just different editions. As you can tell, I am a slut for special editions of books that I love. And this is right on par with Aristotle and Dante for me, in a very different way, but also very similar way. I can't really articulate how those reasons differ and are the same, but I am, okay, I'll try right now. I'm extremely emotionally attached and invested in Aristotle and Dante, but I am with this as well. But I think it's in less of a serious way. I don't know, but they both hold really special places in my heart. So, this is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This has been a really popular book, and the movie adaptation is actually coming out next month on Amazon Prime. So I'm really excited for that. I don't even care if it's gonna be good or bad anymore. I literally just want to genius. His image is pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has beef with an actual Prince, Henry, across the pond, and when the tabloids get a hold of a photo involving an Alex-Henry altercation, U.S.-British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state and other handlers devise a plan for damage control. Stage a truce between the two rivals. What at first begins as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Henry or Alex could have imagined. Soon, Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry that could derail the presidential campaign and upend two nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage and the power to be the people we are meant to be? And how can we learn to let our true colors shine through? Just such a good book. Also, I don't know who's trying to be reading this book for like governmental, royalty, presidential accuracy, but don't have those expectations. It's written by an author who is not an expert in these things, and just wanted to write a fun romance book. So, go into it with those expectations. And like I said, I have a special edition version of this as well. I literally forgot that this is signed. Maybe I didn't even know that it was signed. This is a little awkward, I guess. But yes, this is the collector's edition and signed edition from Barnes & Noble. So yeah, instead of the pink, it's blue. It doesn't have our little cartoon main characters. It's very simple, and I think I might prefer it. I don't know. It's just super different. And there are like these super cute, wonderful on the inside of like really key moments in the book. But yeah, glad to have it. These are two books from the same series, and these are going to be the last books that I talk about in this video. You're going to look at these covers and you're going to say, what are you reading? And why do you have physical copies of these books? They are quality writing and they're so good, and I will preach that till the day I die, okay? It's also a mass market paperback, which I think they're kind of charming, honestly. Like the whole mass market paperback, clinch cover type of beat. But anyway, this is Game Changer by Rachel Reed. This is I would say, new adult or adult enemies to lovers, hockey, gay romance. And that's what the whole series is. And I think there's 5 or 6 story of the books out right now. But only, I believe, 3 of the books in the series are, published physically. It's apparently marketed as contemporary romance, but and they have these horrible covers. They did not get a cover redesign when they went into, physical publishing, which I think is a little, I don't know, it's a little sad because, obviously this is not the most attractive cover to have on a book, but alas, I definitely love this series so much. It does bring a lot of joy to me. But be warned, it is also quite steamy and smutty. I don't know, I would say more than the average book. Like, I would say a lot like Audios is what I would say like an average romance book has in terms of spice and smut. It is detailed, it is sexy, but it's not like the entire book at all. I think there's only a few sex scenes in there. I would probably put this close to that, maybe elevated a few points, but I think overall it's just your average type of amount of smut. But I don't even know, it's so hard to gauge like what's a 5 out of 5 spice and what's not, so I don't know. I'll just read you the back. This is the first book in the series, by the way. New York Admiral's Captain Scott Hunter takes his pre-game rituals very seriously. When a particular smoothie precedes Scott's breaking his on-ice slump, he's desperate to recreate the magic and to get to know the sexy, funny guy behind the counter. Kip Grady knew there was more to Scott's frequent visits than blended fruit, but he never let himself imagine being invited back to Scott's penthouse, or kissed with reckless abandon, and more. What goes on between them is hot, incredible, and frequent, but also only on Scott's terms and always behind his closed apartment doors. Scott needs Kip in his life, but with playoff season approaching, the spotlight on him is suddenly brighter than ever. He can't afford to do anything that might derail his career or the public's image of what a hockey captain should be. Kip is ready to go all in with Scott, but how much longer will he have to remain a secret? And the other book that I have from this series, I'm not sure what number this is in the series, but it is the most recent edition. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. Anyways, it's the most recent edition. It is a follow-up to, I think, the third book in the series, Heated Rivalry, which is definitely the most popular book out of the series. And by the way, these are basically all standalones, can be read on their own. But you'll get a lot more out of it if you read them in order. I read Heated Rivalry before I read any of the other books. And it was like totally fine. I really loved that book when I read it, and I gave it 5 stars, yada yada yada. But when I went back and read the other stories, you know, in the order they were meant to be read, I really enjoyed, you know, seeing the other characters show up in the background, you know, and that kind of thing. Yeah, so to the world they are rivals, but to each other they are everything. 10 years. That's how long Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov have been seeing each other. How long they've been keeping their relationship a secret from friends, from family, from the league. If Shane wants to stay at the top of his game, what he and Ilya share has to remain secret. He loves Ilya, but what if going public ruins everything? Ilya is sick of secrets. Shane has gotten so good at hiding his feelings. Sometimes Ilya questions if they even exist. The closeness, the intimacy, even the risk that would come with being open about their relationship. Ilya wants it all. It's time for them to decide what's most important, hockey or love. It's time to make a call. you guys really enjoyed this, and I don't know, maybe got some tingles. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I did an okay job. And I will be back with part 2 at some point.